is a community service of the New York Institute of Technology.
Covering the news of Nassau and Suffolk Counties, Long Island News Tonight with Ken Eckhart, Carol Peck, and the award-winning LI News team.
Good evening. I'm Ken Eckhart, and here's what's happening. A winter storm warning is in effect in our area through 6 p.m. tomorrow, with anywhere up to 16 inches or more of snow predicted, depending on where you live. Forecasters say it will start as light snow this evening, but will intensify around midnight and could dump as much as 1 to 2 inches of snow an hour before the main part of the storm winds down tomorrow at midday. The town of Hempstead says its workers have been busy all day bracing for the coming storm, and Town Supervisor Kate Murray says they're doing whatever they can to prepare.
Well, you know, they're saying that perhaps the town of Hempstead, Nassau County, might bear the biggest brunt of this storm. And so with that in mind, our guys are going to be salting all day long our 1,200 miles of road. And so we're doing that to provide a great foundation for our snow plowing operations, which will begin tonight.
The town says workers spent the morning getting the plows ready and filling trucks with sand so they're ready to roll. And Murray says town residents can really help out by not parking on the streets.
You could possibly get your cars off the roadways. It will really help us in our snow plowing operations. Not only can we do a cleaner plow along the streets, but you know, it will just help the whole snow plowing operation in a global sense. And so if you could do that, stay off the roads, get your cars off the roadways, it will really lend itself to a very successful operation.
Thanks.
And Murray had one more piece of advice. She's advising residents who are shoveling snow to pile it to the right of their driveways when facing the road, because she says that can reduce the effect of having their driveways plowed in with snow. And this reminder, whenever it snows, a fire hydrant near your home could save you and your family's lives in the event of a blaze, but it won't do any good if the fire department can't find it under a mound of snow. Stephen Katov reports.
A winter snowfall may appear serene and harmless, but it could actually pose a safety threat to all of us. That's what the Nassau County Fire Marshal's office is saying after last week's heavy snowstorm left many area fire hydrants hidden under a mountain of snow and impossible to get to in an emergency. Division Supervisor Vincent McManus says that's why it's so important for the public to make sure that fire hydrants near their homes are shoveled out as quickly as possible.
If someone has a fire hydrant, either near their property or on their corner, we ask them to adopt the hydrant, make it their own, go out and care for that thing and shovel it out so first responders and firefighters can locate it in an event of an emergency.
McManus says winter has only just begun and residents need to remember to make shoveling out hydrants part of their winter storm routine. And he says hydrants on industrial blocks and in front of businesses can't be forgotten.
Normally in a winter emergency such as the one we just had, most fire departments, including all the volunteer fire departments, will be on standby. They'll have people dedicated to responding and standing by during the event. Usually when they're doing that, they will go out and try to uncover and access as many of these hydrants as they possibly can, but with hundreds of fire hydrants in each particular community, we certainly need the public's help.
And the problem isn't just the snow falling from the sky. Hydrants also wind up buried when street plows push the snow up and over them. McManus says there were no reported incidents over the past week where snow prevented access to a hydrant, but he says it's important to be ready anyway. Due to the severity of last week's blizzard and with the possible storm rolling in this weekend, the Nassau County Fire Marshal's office is urging Long Islanders to come out and shovel fire hydrants around their property. In Hicksville, Stephen Katov, LI News Tonight.
Long Island Republican Congressman Peter King says he plans to introduce tough new gun safety legislation in Congress. King says his bill would make it illegal to knowingly carry a gun within 1,000 feet of certain high-profile government officials. King appeared today in Manhattan with Mayor Bloomberg and officials from New York, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania, discussing ways to keep guns out of the hands of criminals. King chairs the House Homeland Security Committee. His announcement comes after the mass shooting in Arizona on Saturday that killed 6 and wounded 14, including Democratic Representative Gabrielle Giffords. New York transportation officials say they'll inspect all 450 entrance and exit ramps on Long Island following the wave of recent wrong-way drunken driving arrests. They say they'll be making sure that wrong-way signs, reflective pavement arrows, and other safety devices are in place. At least 16 people have been arrested on wrong-way DWI charges since November. In one case, an off-duty New York City police officer was killed by an alleged drunk driver going the wrong direction on the Northern State Parkway. Last week, Nassau County District Attorney Kathleen Rice proposed legislation that would make wrong-way driving a specific traffic offense. A Long Island teenager was killed in a two-car accident after police say she crossed the double yellow line, causing a head-on collision. It happened early yesterday morning along Old Tappan Road in Laddingtown. Police say the victim, 18-year-old Isabella Grasso of Laddingtown, crossed into oncoming traffic and hit a vehicle. She was airlifted to Nassau University Medical Center, where she was pronounced dead. The teenage driver of the other car suffered injuries to his chest and arms, and he was taken to an area hospital. A home was fully engulfed by fire early this morning in Massapequa. The Nassau County Arson Bomb Squad says the fire happened at around 4 this morning at a vacant home on Camp Road. Approximately 80 firefighters and 12 pieces of equipment from Massapequa, South Farmingdale, Wantagh, and Amityville and Seaford Fire Department all responded to extinguish that blaze. No injuries were reported, and the Nassau County Fire Marshal's office says that investigation is continuing. A Bronx man has been arrested on Long Island for allegedly trying to cash a forged check. Police say it happened yesterday afternoon at the Chase Bank on Sunrise Highway in Massapequa. According to authorities, 55-year-old Lornell Nash of the Bronx presented a forged check and forged Pennsylvania driver's license at the bank. He was arrested outside the bank when police arrived, and he was identified by bank employees. Well, it was an up day on Wall Street today. The Dow finished the day up 35.5 points. NASDAQ was up just over 9 points, and the S&P was up 4 3/4 points. NYIT's LI News Tonight continues after this.
New York Institute of Technology is holding graduate enrollment days on Tuesday, January 18th in Old Westbury and Wednesday, January 19th in Manhattan from 4 till 7 p.m. For more information, call 1-800-345-NYIT. Hear what career coaches have to say about conducting a successful job search at the Friedberg JCC in Oceanside on Wednesday, January 19th at 10 a.m. For more information, call 516-634-4010. See the play The Wrecking Ball at Nassau Community College in Garden City on Friday and Saturday, January 21st and 22nd at 8 p.m. and Sunday, January 23rd at 3 p.m. For more information, call 516-572-7676 or take the kids to see a performance of Beauty and the Beast at Northport Public Library on Sunday, January 23rd at 2 p.m. Register for tickets online at www.nenpl.org. If you have an event you'd like included on the LI News Tonight community calendar, send it to linewstonight at nyit.edu.
Press play to start your future. Learn the industry. Use the technology. Become an expert in television reporting, journalism, radio, digital film, public relations and advertising, television production, digital graphics, a beautiful state-of-the-art campus, a road to the job you've always wanted, in the media capital of the world. Communication Arts at NYIT. When can you start?
Some stories around the world today. U.S. Defense Secretary Robert Gates says North Korea will pose a direct threat to the United States within 5 years if the communist dictatorship isn't reined in. At a press conference today in Beijing with the Chinese president, Gates pointed to the North's development of intercontinental ballistic missiles and its efforts to expand its nuclear weapons capability. The Pentagon chief also noted that South Korea's tolerance for the North's behavior has worn thin. He said it's time for Pyongyang to demonstrate specific ways it's ready to re-engage with its neighbors, such as moratoriums on missile testing and nuclear testing. Secretary of State Hillary Rodham Clinton is asking leaders in Yemen for better cooperation in cracking down on terrorism. Clinton, who's visiting Yemen, says the country recognizes the threat al-Qaeda poses in the Arabian Peninsula and is becoming more committed to fighting extremism. Clinton is the first Secretary of State to visit Yemen in 20 years. She says her trip is to underscore U.S. support for the country and convince the people of Yemen that the United States wants a more than just a military relationship in an anti-terror fight. And one survivor says that there was nowhere to escape. The wall of water that roared through the streets of a northeastern Australian city. Cars were sent careening into trees and were left bobbing like corks in the churning brown water, which swept through the city and bridges and sidewalks. People were clinging to power poles to survive. At least 10 people are dead, 78 are missing. The high water is headed next to Australia's third largest city, Brisbane. Thousands of homes are threatened, and officials are warning that parts of downtown and dozens of low-lying neighborhoods could be inundated. For the third straight year, the trade publication Education Week has named Maryland's public schools as the best in the country. The annual rankings give Maryland schools a letter grade of B+. New York and Massachusetts rank just below Maryland with a B average. Education Week says some states that have high student achievement have coasted, but Maryland is keeping pressure on its schools to improve. But other experts say the rankings give too much of an advantage to states with a wealthy population, and Maryland is one of the nation's richest states. Washington, D.C., South Dakota, and Nebraska were at the bottom of the list. Flu season's arrived with lots of coughing and fever in the South and in the New York City area. And officials say it's sure to spread to the rest of the country. The good news is there's still plenty of vaccine for procrastinators who haven't gotten their flu shots yet. But the advice is don't wait much longer. It takes about 2 weeks for the vaccine's protection to kick in. January and February typically are the worst flu months, and it can drag into March. And this winter, a well-known nasty strain of type A flu is causing most of the illnesses so far in the U.S., triggering more pneumonia and other complications than the other forms of influenza. Well, we had a partly cloudy day today as we waited for the snow to arrive. The high was only in the low 30s. Then for tonight, that heavy snow is expected with a low tonight in the upper 20s. Tomorrow morning, snow continuing with a high only around freezing. Thursday, the sun returns, but it remains cold with a high in the upper 20s. Friday, a sunny day with a high again only in the mid-20s. And the outlook for Saturday, mostly cloudy, a high in the upper 20s. And that's it for NYIT's LI News Tonight. I'm Ken Eckhart. Thank you for watching. We'll see you again tomorrow. Have a good night.